Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at basically what's going on currently with PvP. We have, of course, if you played PvP yourself, I think it's now worldwide available, the new update for PvP, and the outrage in the community is quite big. I kind of want to take a look a little bit about what's happening, what's the issues, and also my input towards it. I do think, again, just starting here off already with it, I think it's a bit too hot cooked right now than it actually should be. The thing is itself, of course, we're going to have now a new PvP framework, which you most have seen if you played PvP recently. To be fair, I've been taking a break for the last 5 days since the season has been released. With playing PvP, I did 1 or 2 battles. I know why people are giving out, and I do understand it as well. But at the end of the day, yeah, we're gonna talk about why things are the way they are currently. Yeah. But generally, of course, if you are currently on Twitter or anything like this, you're gonna see quite a lot of community posts where people are not really happy, and it's because on how the current system is. It's still not fixed. It's actually mostly buggier than prior, which is what definitely is the case right now. It is very much not pleasing to look at because it's quite yeah, I know, it's very clunky. It's very, very clunky. You see it here as well. Here, for example, from Pokémon GO, it's more like a post towards what the current PvP system is. Rocket Battle Simulation. If you played Rocket Battles recently, I saw a lot of people not being happy with it. Overtap seems unavoidable, so again, I actually don't have the experience myself yet with the new system because I have been taking a break from PvP until the new season starts. Yeah, slow pen is in when throwing moves, swapping, and fainting. We saw that already as well, and we can see it in a few of the clips that are coming up soon as well. Yeah, new players will just turn away. It's not very pleasing for new players for sure. It seems just all a little bit bugged. And this is, for example, here one of a great example of a battle with the new system in place, where we will see on how clunky it looks like already. Generally the issues for this system itself, and I don't think there's actually really anything happening here other than this, but we have here just a great example on how slow it feels. It just feels very slow, and this is the thing as well where I do feel like this is where people are a bit worried. Basically PvP was standing out compared to all of the other Pokemon games there, and all the other competitive Pokemon games generally, in order of being very, very much fast-paced. It's very fast-paced, very predictable. Right now it's looking very slow-paced, and we are not used to this, and I don't think we should get used to it either. I do think that there should be a bit, especially animation-wise here, something that should be a little bit adjusted. And this is the thing as well, I could see that maybe even just the general animations like those are just gonna be a bit sped up in the future, instead of completely rewriting it. Because basically what's happening here, why those things take longer now, is because the servers are syncing up in the background. This is basically what's happening. That's why we have this, is in order to have kind of a fair playing field again as soon as the next round starts after the chart move. This is kind of what they try to achieve with it. That's why it looks a little bit clunky, and I do understand that, but you can actually kind of fix it more easily, I would assume, from my knowledge as well from programming. I have a degree in it as well. That should be kind of more something that you can fix easier. There are other things that are going to be a bit more tricky, which you gotta talk about as well. But this, for example, that's just animations. At the end of the day, the game itself in the background is working totally fine. There's no other real issues happening there. There's just animation, or even overtapping is something that you can adjust a little bit more. But it's just not very much visually pleasing, and that's basically what is kind of happening here as well. It just all takes quite a long time. It's all not really that nice. But that's kind of just a general idea about how this currently is looking like. But then there are those things, and those are more the major issues, which I would say are a little bit more problematic. We're going to take a look here at, I can even maybe scroll out, okay, I can't. We're going to have here basically a showcase of a Master League battle, and what we see here is that we see it here basically. Fusion Bolt comes through, it doesn't do damage. It just doesn't do damage. They didn't use shields. I know it's currently not perfectly on the screen, but I can fix it real quick as well. It's basically right now the case that this is just all a little bit bugged. It's all a little bit bugged, and this is something that we haven't really seen prior, that there are moves that just go through and don't do damage, like this Brave Bird here. This is something that shouldn't be happening. Of course it shouldn't be happening. And we see it here the entire time, every move is not doing any damage. Here we see now an actual shield coming up. Of course now it shouldn't do damage, but that all the charge moves don't do damage is something that, of course, is like a bug that is very much impactful, but it's the thing, this is kind of more of a better phase for that one. And I see that people are saying, okay, they should just hold this update back a little bit, try to fix those issues. You can't simulate this very easily. You can't simulate those issues very easily, so report them when you see them, report them when you have them. But there are so many different kind of things in play here currently, like connectivity issues. You have different kind of device types, you have different kind of frameworks from the device itself. Like you have like iOS and Android and how they can interact with each other. And this is all going to be a little bit more complicated. And realistically, if you have a completely new framework, you can't directly fix it. That is not possible. Like we had a pre-season basically as well beforehand when Go Battle League first was released, where I don't really remember being like a lot of issues or whatever with it, but like there are reasons why those things happen. But of course the system itself back in the day was flawed, and that's the main reason why we have now the complete refactor, the complete rewriting of the code, is because on the first system was so flawed when it got first released that people were able to abuse it by hacking into it and just winning games with that they had to completely rewrite everything. And this is now a complete new system, and this is, again, right now it looks really bad, and I do get the criticism towards this. There is a lot of things are going wrong right now with it and how it looks like. But truth be told, there's going to be things that going to it's going to be able to be fixed in the future, and it's going to be then definitely the better system compared to what we had prior. But yeah, right now it's just very tough, and I do get this. But at the end of the day, we've been asking for a change towards PvP as a system for ages, because we wanted to have this looks insanely so, by the way, because we wanted to have kind of even more game modes towards it. But in order to have that, you have to kind of fix the framework, you have to kind of fix the base of it, and they of course try to attempt this. And while yes, it is absolutely not perfect in any kind of way yet, this can be definitely fixed in the future, and then you're gonna be fine. It's just not very nice currently because on how things are, and that is just the current standpoint basically from me, at least, towards this topic. I think it's still good that we have changes towards it. The issue is, the main issue actually for this all is that this wasn't released in December. That is literally why things are so bad right now, is because it wasn't released in December. What has December to do with it? December was the release of the interlude season. If we would have just had this exact update being released during the interlude season, nobody would have been annoyed at it at all. Like, nobody would have been annoyed at it at all. But just because it is what it is, because it's now released in this time, after the interlude season, basically, where nothing was tested, people are kind of rightfully upset. Like, that is definitely something that we can say here as well. Like, it is not ideally managed. It should have been done earlier. The interlude season itself most likely should have been the next season coming up, and not this season that we had just now. And that's more of a planning failure, but that's mostly because the system wasn't done in time, and that's mostly the reason why it's just only got released now, because it's still not really done in time. But they of course wanted to give the community a little bit of hope for the future, of things being better, of things being expanded on. And I do think, again, this is going to be most likely an issue that is going to be, honestly, it looks so slow, isn't it? Like, it's kind of crazy. It's most likely an issue that you're going to have fixed in the near future, at least, and then nobody is going to be talking about it anymore. But right now it's going to be, of course, annoying. The thing is as well, for official tournaments already, they said that they're going to go back at the current time, at least, towards the old system. So we have the Seattle Regional coming up right now in this weekend, as far as I know, and we are not going to have the system in play because it would be way too early for it. And that's, again, that's the issue why we haven't had this before EYC, because they knew already as well that the system isn't perfect yet, and they need to adjust it, and that's most likely what's going to happen in the future. But right now, I would just, I'll let them do their stuff, because at the end of the day, we had now 6 years of Go Battle League where things didn't go right in so many ways, or so many players left the game because of it. Like, the community shrank down quite significantly because of what has happened in terms of the game lag. And I do feel like it's better to let them do their work itself, try to fix the things, than going all out basically currently on Twitter and trying to complain towards things. Other things that kind of something we have to talk about as well is this year. Jason, also already an OG player for this, is basically what's happening here. It's something that has been in the game code ever since like kind of the first season of the Go Battle League. They just need to remove it from the game code. This is actually something that I think is taking maybe 5 minutes in order to get rid of this issue. They just need to get rid of this issue. Basically, what you can do in the Go Battle League as well, with all of the bugs already currently going on, you can go down to 300 elo, that is the lowest possible elo, by just losing everything, and then you get a stat multiplier on your own stats, which means that every loss is counting basically 5 times and every win is counting 5 times. But of course, if you are a very good player that goes down to 300 elo range and then go ahead and try to get all your ranking back up, you're of course gonna be able to do that super easily and you're gonna be able to climb insanely fast. But basically what is happening here, sometimes I think like a 5-0 or something like this for Jason is giving him like 300 plus rating. And you're gonna get bigger peaks with that. Easily, of course. If you, for example, are just at like 3,200 and you go 5-0, you're all of a sudden at 3,500. You wouldn't climb that fast, usually. This is kind of what is happening here. They made a video about it as well. Definitely check it out if you want to. But basically, this is an issue that has been around for literally plus 20 seasons. Like, this is not something new at all. This has been around the entire time. And it is something that is most likely quite easily fixable because it's just an extra rule in the game code that if you are below a certain elo, you get like the applied towards you, just remove it and you're done with it. Like, that's literally all that you need to do in order to fix this issue. And why this is such an issue is because starting with the next season, as far as I know at least, the leaderboards actually count towards the competitive system. Like, you're gonna be able to get CP points with that as well, which can, like, just a few of them, but this can help you, for example, qualify yourself for Worlds. Like, those just being good at the leaderboards in Go Battle League is not going to be enough in order to qualify for Worlds itself, but it can help going towards it. And of course, in order to have a fair gameplay experience, you don't want to have everyone having to tank down to 300 elo first and then see who has the best run afterwards. That doesn't make too much sense. And so yeah, this is still broken. This is something that needs to be fixed, don't get me wrong, absolutely. But yeah, this is kind of all that I have to talk about today. Like, the current system is, of course, frustrating. I do see that. It is very slow. There are a lot of issues towards that. But at the end of the day, we have now 6 seasons of nothing going forward towards PvP. We have like 6 seasons, 6 years of nothing going forward towards PvP. We all want to have show 6 pick 3, for example, into the game. But in order to have that, you would need to have something that isn't as, I don't know, it's not as laggy, basically, and that's something that we even seen in tournaments before. That happened against me as well in tournaments as well. I lost tournaments before because of lag, which back in the day, for example, the tournaments weren't set up as nicely, and like you wouldn't be able to get like rematches for that all the time because of how the game worked. And I still remember this, and I would like to have a fair game for everyone, and this is most likely a good step towards that. Even though currently there are of course a lot of issues towards it, which just have to be fixed. But again, this is going to be it for me today. I do feel like it's a bit too much to say like everything is gonna die, but I do think, again, of course, right now it's poorly tested, which is sad here as well. This is true. Like, there should have been the current version should have been already better than it is, but hopefully in the future it's going to be all a bit better for PvP and we can have more things coming up towards it as well. Because I do think that especially Scopely and especially Pokemon Company itself is very much interested in seeing where PvP can go, but this is only a little hiccup in the middle of it, hopefully, and we're gonna have a bit of a better system later on. That's gonna be it for today. See you then. Bye bye.